Welcome to 2A Gun Talk, guys. How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's doing well. Just waiting for a couple of people to come in. You're sleeping good, I'm eating good, oh wow. Welcome, fam. How's everyone doing today? 2A Gun Talk, guys. Just waiting for a couple more people to join on the live, then we get busy. What's up? The noblest. I'm good, man. How you doing, fam? Go ahead. What question you got for me, brother? Let me hear it. Hello, guys. Welcome to the live. Have you shot the 380 Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0? Noblest, no. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm not gonna lie to anybody. I'm not these YouTubers that's that'll tell you a bunch of nonsense. If something's trash, I'm not gonna say it is good. If I've never shot something, I'm not gonna say I have. But I'm not a 380 person. To be honest with you, I have a 380 right here. I've had this 380 on my office desk for years. I went to the range, somebody was shooting one, I picked it up and I kept it. This is as close as the 380 as I get. Now, next to the it's so funny. Next to the 380 is a 9mm. You see that? See that? That's why I don't shoot the 380 Bodyguard, man. I to be honest with you, not knocking it. The reason why you probably ask me is probably you're probably thinking about getting something like that. And if that's the case, if it puts it into your heart, okay, so you fired one already and you actually see what it's like. Now, listen, man, I'm never one to deter anybody from getting something that they want. If you see a 380 out there, man, you feel like that's a good concealed carry, something that's light on the recoil, because not everybody has a kung fu grip like me or anybody else, you know what I mean, that can grip a 9mm or a 40 or anything like that and just keep ripping. But a lot of times, not everybody wants the bulk of carrying that big thing around their hips or whatever. If it's in your heart to get a 380, do that, man. I'd rather have a 380, two well-placed shots, you know what I mean? Will put down an attacker. I don't care how big and bad they are. A 380 to the skull is gonna give you a everlasting headache. So most definitely. But to be honest with you, I've not fired Smith & Wesson 380. I have a M&P 2.0, and actually I got it stolen from my car. So speaking of that, I should go follow up with a police station. But no, I don't have a 380. I've never shot a 380 Bodyguard. I would definitely, if I got one for free, I'll take it. But there's too many guns on my list that I want to have before I go to a 380. There's too many guns in 9mm that are kind of just as small with with more stopping power at 9mm than I would a 380. So I most definitely don't. I haven't fired a 380, and I don't intend on buying one. I'll be honest with you, dog. That's the truth. Like I said, if I got one, I would take it, but it's not necessarily something that I would, I go out of my way to get, man. And there's a few guns that I already have on my mind. A 380 is like the last thing I want to get. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's so many, like right now I'm in school, right? I'm in medical school, so it's expensive, it's time consuming, and I don't use. And this segue into the point I'm going to talk about today, about people spending too much money during this period. And then, especially if you're into firearms and you want to buy more guns or add more guns to your collection, not everybody is going to be into what I'm saying. But just for the people in the two-way community who are thinking about buying a different firearm, like for instance, like I said, I'm not really into 380 because I would buy a 380 to be honest with you, just to keep that, what I mean, in my pants pocket, something, to carry if I'm going to, like a function where I don't want to print, and I just want to keep something just in case. Especially seeing what happened in Australia. And I remember even watching a video on YouTube where there was a funeral going for some gang members, and the other gang members from another I guess sect or whatever came in, and they were doing shooting outside the funeral. For situations like that, I'd love to have something that small I can carry just to defend myself if I have to. Or, like I said, if you're I don't know, if you're going, I don't know, church, I don't know. I know I shouldn't say church because, people are gonna be like, church, you carry a church. Yeah. You see how terrible people are? Look in Israel, how they, shot up that concert. Look at like I said, in Australia, how that one man just went there and went nuts. That's why I love the fact that here in the United States, there's staunch politicians like Donald Trump and many others that you never see that are behind the scenes that constantly fight for us to have the right to to carry firearms, because I've seen videos where people in Europe are saying, bro, listen, don't let them take your guns. No matter what them people says, don't let them take your guns. So when they take your guns, they start taking away every little right. And the firearm in our community is what keeps government somewhat honest. Yes, they're criminals. To be honest with you, I think a lot of politicians are worse than common gang members and criminals. They are. They just dress up in a suit and they have the law behind them to say, hey, I'm a politician, I'm the law. But I think they're just as criminal as a lot of people that are criminals, and worse, because they cost the lives of millions. What a politician does or doesn't do can have a very long-lasting and widespread negative effect on the community. Look, we had a president like Joe Biden, man, and look at all the drugs that President Trump is stopping from coming in our country. Like container loads, boatloads every week. They find new ways of trying to bring drugs and guns and ammunition in our country. And look how the Department of War is putting like a lot of that to an end. And imagine if we were still under a Democratic rule from Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, how much of those drugs are getting into our country? Like, what I mean? I was just listening to a sermon this morning, about recognizing the devil, in people. And I don't know if people see me as a devil. I'm pretty sure he talked to a couple of my exes. They'd be like, yeah, he one of them. But what I mean? I talked to, I was listening to this sermon about recognizing the devil in people. And it was telling you, to have this discernment to see that there's evil people in the world. And I see like the media giving the Department of War and Donald Trump this hard time about stopping these drug dealers coming into our country and having sympathy for them. And I just can't understand it. I just can't understand why there's a part of our society that thinks it's okay for people to send drugs to our country and kill our citizens. Hey, what's up, Token? How you doing, man? Welcome to the live, man. How you doing? You know what I mean? And there's people like that. There's people like that who vote for Democrats, or down for open borders. We're down for leaving our border, leaving our borders open to the cartel, millions and millions of pounds of fentanyl and drugs coming into our country. Like, I just can't understand how people hate on Donald Trump for wanting to secure his country. I never got it. I can never get it. And these people won't actually understand what he does until one day, that crime finds it into their doorstep or in their house. And that's how, I mean, they will understand what Donald Trump is doing. Tear or peel a banana peel. Peel. Yeah, welcome guys. Welcome. Token, what's up, man? What state you in? I'm in the state of Florida, man. We don't do no bullshit here, bro. we don't do I'm sorry, one second, guys. How the hell do I get this foolishness off of here? See, this thing popped up a while ago, having a question about tearing and peeling a banana peel, stuff like that. Get that out of here. All right, yeah. So yeah, I'm in the United States, man. Shout out to everybody in the live, everybody watching. If you guys have any questions on the 2A community, any questions you have about firearms that you want my opinion on, go ahead, man. As you guys can tell by the topic today, I'm going to talk about spending, not just spending for your family and gifts and stuff like that, but if you're into firearms and how you can actually, if you want to, purchase a firearm for yourself and how to do that spending. What EDC? What's my everyday carry? I have sometimes I carry. I can't really show it on camera because I can't touch the firearms while I'm carrying, or else they'll cut the short. But I carry a Glock 19 Gen 5, and every now and then I carry a Beretta PX4 Storm if I want to go a little smaller. It's a little thick, but I carry that every now and then. And then I have crap. I carry oh man, I can't remember. CZP10C. Sorry. Just had a brain fart, man. I carry CZP10C, and with that, I carry my karambit. This is my fighting knife, so it's CZP10C and my karambit. Always carry my karambit. Any PCCs? I have a ton load of PCCs. Too many. I have a couple from Palmetto State Armory. I have the Chris Vector. I have the CZ Scorpion. I have the MP5. I have quite a few, man. Let me see if I can pan the camera around so you can see it. Let me move it away. Got the light in the way. See, let me move this real quick. I'm sorry, guys. Trying to move the light around. So you see the bottom one is the one right here. I'm sorry, right here. That is a Grand Power Strybog. Two above that is a Chris Vector, and so that's just two of them. And then I have some more back here. Pistol caliber carbine. I have that one right here. That's a Palmetto Armory PC9, and then I think that's a High Point, and then the CZ Scorpion is in a different place. So I have quite a few PCC. I have a handful of them. Yeah. So yeah. So I see a lot of people left. So you know what I mean. Just waiting for some more people to come in so we get on today's topic. Talk about what we need to talk about today. But so where are you guys watching from, man? Where are you watching from? Where are you guys watching from? Welcome to the live, guys. Thank you guys for joining. Appreciate you guys. How's everybody doing? Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thank you, Token. Thank you. So today I want to talk about a couple of things, man. If you guys want to go you're in Texas? Oh man, I love Texas. I thought about moving to Texas recently, and then honestly I kind of thought myself out of it, but I probably stay in the state of Florida. I kind of like Florida. I love the weather down here, so I'm gonna stay in Florida. But definitely I'd love to move to, if I was moving out of Miami, Florida, I'd probably go North Florida or Texas, maybe North or South Carolina, Atlanta. Yeah, something like that. He said, BCJ said black people strap up. I mean, every people should strap up, but yeah, black folks should strap up too. I advocate, proper gun safety. I think everybody should strap up. If there ever came a point to where, our military couldn't defend you, guess we're gonna have to defend yourself. Even if there was some kind of situation, WROL, that went on in your community, guys, there's not enough cops to protect you. You know what I mean? There is not enough cops to protect you. You have to protect yourself. And I'm not talking about going out there, showing off your gun and being in gangs or anything. I'm talking about having a firearm to protect your family if in case there's some kind of event that happens and you need to move from point A to point B. Listen, you're gonna see where the wolves come out. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, I can say I'm one of those wolves, but I'm kind of one of those nice wolves. You know what I mean? By nature, I'm very aggressive. You know what I mean? I have a pretty aggressive personality, but it's more controlled. You know, that's how I would uh, describe myself. I have a controlled aggression. You know what I mean? So I know when to unleash the demon or the beast. I shouldn't say that. I should say unleash the beast, and not that kind of devilish entity, but that the part of me where I can really go ham. I know when to do that and when to hold back. But I think everyone should make sure that they carry a firearm and do it safely, and handle their firearm safety. And that's why I have this series called 2A Gun Talk. 2A Gun Talk, is we don't promote any kind of violence whatsoever. We just do it in good fun. We want to bring new people to the community. We want you guys to be safe out there. We want you to be able to defend yourself and do it the right way. Know how to do firearm handling. I'm gonna drop a video on your first firearm and how to handle it. And that video I'm gonna drop it later on today. I'm also gonna drop another video. I'm hitting the gym after this. I'm gonna start posting a lot of gym stuff. I'm about 205, bench about 315 twice a week. I'm a pretty good dude. I'm not a slouch. I can get busy. So BCJ in the process of strapping. What are you thinking about getting? Do you have anything that you have in mind that you think you want to get? If you need any suggestion, let me know. Like, what is there that you think you might get? Rock fan says, what state are you in? And gun laws different by state, and some states restrict what can you purchase. I'm in the state of Florida, but if you're new to this channel and you don't know too much about firearms, if you're in the state of California, New York, it's going to be a lot harder to get a firearm. Not necessarily harder, but you can get a firearm, but you're limited to the amount of capacity that you can hold. Like states like Hawaii, New York and California. There's a lot of laws that are restrictive. Places like Chicago, and what I noticed, a lot of places that are very gun restrictive, they have the most crime. Chicago, California, New York, like those places are like literally kind of like the Wild West. That it shows that all these gun laws don't work. You know what I mean? But I live in the state of Florida. We recently, I think in September of this year, we were allowed to have open carry. And I really don't see a lot of places open carrying, but that is a law now that we can open carry. So prior to that, if you were to have a firearm and it was showing off through your clothes or on the outside of your clothes, it would be called brandishing. So I guess that's out the door now. So in the state of Florida, brandishing is not a thing. You can actually carry a firearm. I went to go pick up a 22 from my FFL dealer, and I just found out that my concealed carry was expired. So that's something that I need to jump on. Um, but yeah, in the state of Florida, you can open carry. And so if you're watching this and you're watching from Florida, it's not illegal to open carry. I'm sorry, it's not illegal to open carry. And it just depends on the state that you're in. If you're thinking about purchasing a firearm, look up your state laws before you break any. All right. We always want to suggest doing the right thing on this channel. All right. Got me some Kool-Aid. Who drinks Kool-Aid? When was the last time y'all had some Kool-Aid? Huh? All right. Any questions you guys have? Like, I'm still gonna get into the topic I have today. But I just before anytime I do my lives, I always want to are you real? Are the guns real? Yes, they're real. I can't pronounce what you're saying. I get that's in Arabic. Yes, the guns are all real. There's nothing airsoft here. This one above my head with the little red thing, that's just a compensator I bought. I was gonna do a project on the 22, and I was gonna do it all red. A lot of it all red, and I ended up changing my mind, and so I didn't do it again. So I kind of just left it, but I just put that comp on this other little 22 that I have, and then I just kind of like let it rip, and I just left it there. But nothing here is airsoft. Everything is, it is what it is. And guys, I just did a tabletop review. What 12 gauge gun would you recommend for home defense? If you're really on a budget, the Maverick 88 from Mossberg is a very good shotgun, very proven, very reliable. I have one of them. Sometimes they come with two barrels, a 20-inch barrel that I was using for skeet shooting for a while, and they come in 18 inches. But I have the other shotgun that I also have is a Stoger M3000. I bought that quite some time ago, and it's a semi-automatic shotgun. It's not super expensive, super reliable. It runs on the inertia system that they use on the that military shotgun. I can't remember the name of that shotgun, but it's actually very good. So look it up, the Stoger M3000. Let me write that in. Stoger M3000. I just put it in the chat. The Stoger M3000 is a very good shotgun. If you have the budget and you want to go, if you just want to get one shotgun, that the one I'm looking to purchase next, my next shotgun is the Beretta A300 Ultima Patrol. That is gonna be my next shotgun. The Beretta A300 Ultima Patrol. Let me write that there. All right, so that's the Beretta A300 Ultima Patrol. So those are two D. Well, if you want to go low, like I said, the Maverick 88 from Mossberg is pretty decent. It's a very budget-friendly shotgun. Not only that, you can go get a lot of used police shotgun from your local pawn shops or your local pawn shops. You can go. A lot of times there's a lot of police trade-ins. They trade in those guns. A lot of used Glocks, used Berettas, used shotgun. If I'm looking for something not to break the bank and something mad reliable, just go into your local pawn shop. Hey, do you have any police trading shotguns? And a lot of them pump action shotgun, they'll work all the time. They'll probably run you $200-300. That's how I would go if I'm getting my first shotgun, to be honest with you. If you have the money, I would go to the Stoger M3000, the Beretta, and then if you have a little bit more money, my next shotgun is going to be the Beretta A300 Ultima Patrol. I think it's a pretty amazing shotgun, man. What shotguns loads would you have loaded in your shotgun for? Definitely bird shot is for the birds, man. I'm sorry. Nothing less than 12 gauge, man. 8, 9 balls, 12 shots, that I think that's the least you should go. Somebody comes into my house, I'm not trying to bird shot you to death, to the face. No. I want this to be your last break-in, and that is a fact. I'm a Christian, man, but yes, don't break the rules in my house, plain and simple. So most definitely, rock fan, definitely 8, 9 buck shots. That's what you're gonna get, straight up. You shouldn't be doing anything less than that. You come into my house, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna remember it. Even if you don't die, you're gonna live with the signs for the rest of your life. I don't promote violence, man, but when it's perpetrated on me, then yes, I return it in kind. That's just how it is. I forgive, never forget. And if you put me in a situation where I got to get busy, I'm going to get busy. Plain and simple. That's just how it is. Yeah, no problem, man. Appreciate you, rock fan. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate it, man. For me, give me a second. Let's pay some bills real quick. All right, so I talked about. I know there's only a few people, and I don't care how much people are in my live. I do this because I want to do it, and I do it because it's fun for me. Um, uh, oh, I'm sorry. All right, so today's topic. Thank you for the subscription again, Rockfan. I appreciate you. A lot of the bigger channels you see, they don't do things like this. This is beneath them. They're so busy pondering to a lot of big companies and getting a lot of stuff sent to them. Reviewing expensive gun that 95% of us, 98% of us can't afford. I love my man Hickok 45. He always he reviews everything. But a lot of channels like Cullinor, Honest Outlaw, all these, Pew View, Pew Pew. A lot of these guys, I love watching them, but a lot of the guns that they have, I can't afford. I really can't afford it. They're too expensive. They're always, running some kind of special to Windows firearms. And and honestly, I don't think, just like classic firearms, I think they're fake. I think they know who they're gonna give the gun. They do their drawing. They never do their drawing live. They do their drawing in secrets and then tell you that, oh yeah, I have this raffle and blah blah blah. Buy this and buy a mug and buy this and buy a shirt just to enter the entry and you'll win. No, they're not. You're not winning anything. They're not giving you no $5,000 gun. Palmetto State. I'm sorry. Classic Firearm is a perfect example of that. That it's such a trash company. I used to buy stuff there, and then all the time, then they start talking about you can win this and win that, and yet still you never saw anybody come out and say they actually won anything from Classic Firearm. I think that they're going down in business. I don't think that they're doing very well because I think a lot of people saw the rate that they were doing and they were saying, "Oh, you can win this gun." Every week they were giving away a gun, and then a month later you'll see the same gun on top of the display behind them. I don't think they ever gave away any gun. They did it for you to just promote them, spread their brand all over the internet, and then they fake you with, oh, I'm gonna give this. And then I made a video about Classic Firearm, being cheats, and then it got so many views. I think it's still up on one of my playlists. And I don't believe in deceiving people like that. I believe that, hey, I should tell the truth. And if you see it and you like it, it is what it is. If you don't like it, it's whatever to me. So if I have 3 people watching my live, I really don't care. That's for me. If 3 people got something out of it, then that works just for me. That's fine for me. All right. So today's topic, guys, I'm just gonna get into it. And guys, I was gonna say something. So I always, when I come live, I always ask people to donate. It's not a begging. It's kind of helps motivate me to put out more content. I just recently did a review on the Taurus TX22. If you guys want to go and watch that, one of my videos, it's a full review of the Taurus TX22, which is a 22 pistol. It comes with 5 rounds, 3 I think 16 rounder and 2 21 rounders. I purchased that firearm not out of my own pocket, but from my views money that I made from YouTube. I used all that money to purchase the ammo, the firearm, and I put it right back into this channel. I didn't put not 1 cent. As a matter of fact, I put more money on it to buy the ammo and something else, but it doesn't matter. And I put it right back in the channel. When I ask people to donate to the channel, I don't ask them for money to put in my pocket. I ask them for money to buy better equipment. Right now, I'm using my cell phone, which is my main camera. When I'm doing lives on politics stuff, I use my tablet. And then obviously I'm using my laptop for school that I can read your comments mostly. But when I ask for contribution to the channel, it doesn't go in my pocket. It doesn't feed me or anything like that. It goes back into the viewership. So I make content so you guys can benefit from it or see a lot of the things that I experience. So if you guys feel I don't have what you call that thing where people they send you to send money. I don't have any of that. Patreon. So I just come on here. I oblige people to donate. If you guys want to donate a couple of dollars to the channel, that'd be greatly appreciated for my efforts. Like I said, anything that I get goes toward the channel. The money I use, I'm using a stand with a light purchased on Amazon. I have another light here to my right. I would love to get some nice cameras, man. So if you guys really want to help the channel out and help me create more content, because going to the range, ammo, all of this stuff costs money, guys. It's not cheap. So if you guys ever have the inclination to donate to the channel, feel free. I appreciate it. All right. So today I'm going to get into the topic. I know I only have like a couple people in the live right now, and it doesn't matter. They can watch this later on, and if they get something out of it, then that's what it is. All right. So we're going to talk about when you December. December is that type of month, guys. You know what I mean? December is that type of month where people want to spend, and people want to spend more than they actually can afford. Credit card debt, spending money to impress the girls, spending money to impress the family, spending money to do this, spending money to do that. And then people forget that January comes around. And when January comes around, those credit card bills start staring you in the face, and I'm here to kind of like maybe see if I can help people to budget a little bit better, maybe watch their spending, and then so that blunt force of January 1st or January whatever, don't hit you as hard. Now, as this pertains to the 2A community, I know a lot of people that are interested in the 2A movement, which is, firearms, firearm related stuff, buying guns, getting your first gun, getting your second gun, getting that gun that you've always wanted, but you've never had the money to really afford. Now, if you ever find yourself in that scenario, guys, December is not a good month for you. Because December, you're going to be buying gifts for family members. You're going to buy gifts for the wifey, gifts for the kids, gifts for grandma, gifts for mom. You're going to get a new this and new that, a bunch of stuff. To be honest with you, half the people won't ever really use. And I say half the people because half of them will use it. Most gifts that I buy people, I make sure that it's something that they can really use throughout the year. It's not just for Christmas. A nice cologne, a nice handbag, ammunition. You're always going to use ammunition. If I know you're a firearm enthusiast and I'm going to buy you a gift, I'd rather, buy you 1,000 rounds of 9mm because I know you're always going to go to the range. So, I want to give a gift that's always keep giving. I don't want to just buy you something that you wear it on Christmas Day or you use it on Christmas Day, a day or two later, then you toss it in a box somewhere and it's never to be seen until it's time to hit the garage sale. I'm not really into that. I like to give gifts and get gifts that last me, that are practical. So if you are into firearms and you ever thought about, hey, I want to start a collection, I see a certain gun that's out there that I actually want to add to my collection, then this is the video for you. All right, so when people think about buying firearms, they'll say, oh, that's super expensive. I can't afford that. It's $400 or $500. But let's think about this, guys. A firearm is not like a shoes. Yes, some shoes can last you forever. I've had shoes that I've had since high school in my closet right now. I swear. I've had school shoes that I've had since high school in my closet right now. But those shoes don't have any value. You know what I mean? But I also have guns that have made in 1945 that still has value. I can sell that firearm and get at least $300 to use for something that I might need. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Firearm ownership is a long-term financial commitment. Yes, you're going to spend some money. I promise you will. Guns are not cheap. Well, some guns are. You know what I mean? You're going to spend money on purchasing the firearm, and that could range from at least $250 all the way up, right? It's going to cost you some pennies. All right. You're going to buy ammo. You need to buy a safe. Maybe not one of those gigantic safes, but you're going to end up buying a safe. That's going to also cost money. You're going to buy ammunition to train with it because there's no way you want to purchase a firearm and not put the time behind it. This is something that people in the 2A community, once you purchase a firearm, you're in the community. Believe me, right? You don't want to purchase a firearm and then not be able to practice with it. It makes no sense, right? And shooting is something you constantly have to stay with, as with any other sport. I played soccer all my life. When I stop and I go back, yes, I have the touch for the ball, but it's not the same. The ball doesn't feel like it's drawn to my feet as it used to feel when I used to play all the time. So I constantly have to keep going and playing. So, that is something that you constantly have to invest in. It is an expensive sport. So if you are thinking about purchasing a firearm, don't waste your money. Don't buy all these unnecessary December foolishness. December is not for Jesus Christ. It's not for the Lord. It's for the pagans and the economy to drive you broke. And then come January, you're crying in your mind saying, what did I do with the money? You know what I mean? Now I really want the gun and I can't afford it because you spent money on all kind of foolishness during December trying to please people. I've gotten to that point now where I don't try to please anybody. I'll tell people, hey, listen, don't buy me anything. Don't buy me nothing for Christmas. I don't want anything for Christmas because I'm not going to buy you anything. You know what I mean? I've gotten to the age where I don't care about none of this Christmas foolishness. I get to the point where if I want something for myself, if I want something from someone, I don't even ask them. I don't hint at it. I just save up my money during December. I don't get you anything. You don't have to get me anything. And then I buy exactly what I want and you buy exactly what you want. Now, it's going good, man, Brooke. Thank you for joining. Thank you. SidMF. Brooke SidM RF. That name sounds Turkish. You know what I mean? Anyway, welcome to the live, guys. Thank you guys for joining. So again, you know what I mean? I rather just keep that money for myself and buy what I want. You keep that money for yourself, buy whatever you want. I'm so sick and tired of you spending all this money. Then you look at your credit card bill and max it out for what? For stuff that you're not even using anymore. So I would suggest that in December, save your money. Like, and if you're ever looking forward to buy a gun, it's gonna be initially, I just took one of my boys from my school to the shooting range. He purchased a SAR, which is I think is a Turkish pistol. Very good. If you guys are looking for your first firearm, check out the SAR USA. They're Turkish handgun, built very well, super accurate. He brought this gun for I think less than 250, and he brought it to the range, and I shot it, and it was pretty good. You know what I mean? Brookside is our farm's old name. Brook, like creek. FRM means farm firearm. Hey, that's pretty neat, man. That's pretty neat how you put that all together for any. My bad. I'm sorry, man. Welcome to the live, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for the explanation, man. Thank you, bro. If you guys want to show your love, feel free to donate or subscribe to the channel, man. I appreciate you. So yeah, so I brought him to the shooting range. I told him that I'll teach him how to shoot. He learned very quickly, and the gun wasn't super expensive. You know what I mean? So thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Much love, man. So the gun wasn't expensive. He went to the range, he had a great time. He bought like 6 boxes of ammo, and he went online while we were there because I let him borrow my eye and ear protection. I had to lend him one of my old, ear protection, and then an eyeglass that I had in my range bag. And then he had to go buy his ear protection, eyewear, ammo. He had to pay for the range time. So he was like, man, this is an expensive sport. And I'm like, it is. And initially, it might seem like it is really expensive, because you have to buy all these things. But once you initially buy your range bag, you buy an ammo, you buy eye protection. I already wear glasses already. So for me, this is my eye protection. And then my ear protection is a Walkers. Everybody buys Walkers. They're not super expensive. I bought them when they were at their highest, when they just came out, when they were like 50 something dollars. Now they're so cheap. They're like 30 bucks. You can find them used places, but just buy a brand new one and you find. I put some more money in my Walkers because I added the cushiony, the very soft rim around the earring, so it wouldn't be so hard on my ears. So I already wear glasses already, so my ear protection was already there, and I have ton load of glasses already just lying around my house. So initially, it is kind of expensive. Firearm ownership is expensive, but you are making an investment. You're making it. I remember during COVID, people were buying old ass guns for triple the price they would normally cost. If something should happen, some kind of disaster, some kind of COVID-esque type thing, and you need a firearm and you ain't got one, trust me, you're gonna buy the crappiest firearm for the most amount of money. And ammo is gonna be super expensive. So firearms are a long-term investment. Believe me that they are. You might not see it now, understand. If shit hit the fan, I could trade ammo. I could sell guns for livestock, food, grains, if shit really came down to that. Not that I think that the world is gonna go contrary to popular belief. All gun owners, we don't think that there's gonna be a zombie apocalypse and the world is gonna come to. We really don't believe that. I mean, if it did, we'll be a little bit more prepared than you guys with our crew. But we really don't believe that the world is going to come to, and it could, like I said, but we don't really think that is going to happen. But if it was to come to that, guys, believe me, having a firearm, a lot of ammunition would give you a better trading kind of thing, because people are going to want to defend themselves. And all the people who didn't have firearm are going to say, shit, I should have had it. Now I'm going to have to pay up the wazoo to get ammo, to hunt for food, to protect my family, or so forth. So it is a long-term investment. This gun up here, this is called a Polish Tanto. I have 2 of them. This one I painted in gold. I probably spent about, from Classic Firearm, maybe like $400 for this. I can sell this for over $1,500. And the one in the box that's not painted, even more. This one right here is called a Vepr. It's the Russian Vepr. We don't import guns from Russia anymore. So anything that's original Russian, we don't import that. This is called a Vepr. I think I spent $600 on this, and this can go easily $1,700, $2,000. This right here is a Russian Saiga AK. It comes in a sporter stock. I have another one in a box, unopened. It's open, but it's not. This one I converted to a regular AK, and these can go for about $3,000. This is made in the Ishmash factory, and this is literally a $3,000 AK. More expensive on a lot of AKs you see. I can convert this and make it look real modern. I can do a lot of things with this, but this is an original Russian Vepr AK, and these are what money I spent on them is 1/5 of what I can sell them for. So they do retain their value. All right. All right. So right now, if you want to consider purchasing a firearm, it's your first time, you're like, yo, I want to get a firearm. I want to buy one in January. You know what I mean? Try to cut back on the impulse buying. That's when you go out with the family and you see every little thing in the window. They put a price tag on it, says, "Oh, Black Friday deal." Don't Half the time it's not really a deal. Sometimes they hike up the price, then jack it back down to the original price to get you to buy. So try to cut back on the impulse buying. You're going to spend more than what you really want to spend, and then you're going to regret it in December. After December, a lot of these prices are going to go straight down because they build up the inventory, right? Thinking that they're going to sell all these things, and then they don't sell it. And then in January, they have surplus, and they need to get rid of them for the new incoming inventory. And then that's when you really want to buy. So if you're looking at a gun, a lot of the prices come down after December. Even if you're going to go out and keep buying a bunch of expenses, foolishness, like anything that you just spend money on that you really shouldn't, right? Just save your money. Cut back on that impulse a little bit and just wait till January when all the prices are going, things are getting returned. A lot of firearms sometimes get returned at mom and pop store. You know, you go back there, the price is slashing in half. A brand new firearm that somebody bought, didn't like, and returned. Guess what? You get to get it at a good deal. All right. So if you're thinking about purchasing a firearm, guys, budget first. All right? Budget first. Like I said, you know, the training that goes with learning to use your firearm, the ammunition is not cheap. 1,000 rounds of 90mm is going to run you about $230 with shipping from wherever you buy it. That's the least you're going to pay, right? So if you know you're going to get into firearm, you need to train with that firearm. You don't want to just get a firearm, go to the range one time, shoot it, and then now, oh, I'm an expert, I can defend myself. No, adrenaline kicks in when you get into certain situation. So you definitely are going to need to train with that firearm. You're going to need accessories, holsters, certain belts. You're going to need, you know, red dots if you want to add a red dot to it. So think about that, you know, budget accordingly, you know. So if you're going to purchase a new firearm, it's not just a firearm. Red dots, range time, driving to the range, it costs money, guys. All right, so don't go crazy with the you know, buying a lot of stuff right now, and then you want to get into firearm thinking that, hey, I'm just going to buy the gun and I'm good to go. All right. So if you're thinking about buying a firearm now, if you're on a budget, right, it's okay to buy a cheaper firearm. There's a lot of firearms that are lower in price and that are good quality. Not a lot of them. Now, Canik probably have some firearms that are lower price, that are older models, but you get good quality. You can go check out Canik. Palmetto State Armory, they make Glock 19 clones that are lower price, decent quality. I've seen mixed review on a lot of Palmetto State Armory 9mm guns. So check those out. A lot of used Smith & Wesson are of lower price. Not that they're lower quality. Sometimes they're used. If you go to your pawn shop and ask for a lot of police trade-ins, you can find a lot of those police guns that they used to use for different police department when they're upgrading their inventory. They send them to pawn shops or wherever the case might be, and you get them at a very discounted rate, but you're getting a used gun that's been broken in already and has good quality. In terms of lower price, you can check out SARS USA, which is it's a Turkish gun. The Turks are making better guns. At first, when Canik came out, I was a little skeptical, but Canik has proven itself now. Canik is one of the mainstream names now. All right, Canik is not just some Turkish, manufacturer just made some guns and now boom, they're done with it. No, Canik is actually making very good firearms that are competing with the best of them. And Canik is fairly young compared to companies like Beretta, CZ, Smith& Wesson, and all these other companies. Canik has really come a far way in a short time. So Canik makes some really good guns. Welcome, fam. What's my favorite weapon? My favorite caliber is a 22, to be honest with you. It's 22, 9, 308. I love 22. So versatile. Not a lot of recoil. Easy to train with. Easy to teach people with. You know what I mean? Easy to carry a ton load of ammo. Shit at the fan. You can hunt. You can kill. You can trade. 22 so versatile. Easy to suppress. Then 9mm. Obviously self-protection. Yeah, you're gonna want a handgun. 9mm is next. PCCs. Longer barrels PCCs, shorter barrel PCCs, a little bit easier to maneuver with. And then big boy, you think I'd say 5.56? No, 308. A little less ammo, but more lethality. So that's my favorite. My favorite weapon, probably my Chris Vector, my SOCOM 16 308, and I love my Berettas. Sorry, I just do. Better to have yeah. Somebody says Brooks said better to have and not need than to need and not have. Absolutely correct. Absolutely. I totally agree with you, Brooke. 1000%. Again, guys, if you guys like the content I'm making, feel free to like, subscribe, share the video, and if God puts it in your heart, go ahead and give a donation. All proceedings goes toward the channel, not in my pocket. Camera equipment, firearms, range time, making videos, so forth, so forth, so forth. Never stops. All right, so I guess yeah, so I was talking about firearms that you can purchase. So if you don't have the money, guys, there's a lot of companies out there that you can get cheaper firearms with decent quality. SARS USA, Canik, trade-ins from police trade-ins. You name it, you can find guns out there. But the point I'm trying to make for this for this point, actually, the point I'm trying to make is, if you spend the money on a used gun that was once an expensive gun, then you're getting a deal. But to be honest with you, I would just spend the money and get a pretty decent gun. So you can keep buying a high point. High point, the quality is not so great on their handguns, but on their carbine is exceptional. I don't know about I know High Point just came out with an AR-15. I saw some review by Honest Outlaw. It didn't perform well. I would not suggest buying that AR-15. You can go to Palmetto State Armory. They give you a lot better quality, even on their basic models. They have a lifetime warranty, and so does High Point, but I would go Palmetto State Armory. You're going to get a lot better firearm, better quality, better usability, and the gun's going to last you forever. If it has any power problem, you call them, you send it back, they replace the part or the gun for you. No questions asked. So I wouldn't go High Point. If I'm going to go High Point, anything is going to be their 995 TS carbine. That is exceptional. Their handgun is trash. I think their AR-15 is not so good, but I know their carbine, I've seen millions of videos, and their carbine is the ish. It is actually very good, Somebody said reflection -124. You said, oh, so you buy off-label guns, no marks? I don't understand. Explain that. I don't understand. No prints inside. I don't get. AR-15 is the Western version of AK-47. Well, you could say that AR-15 is probably Western. That is true, because during World War II, they were using AK-47. Obviously, Stoner built the AR-15. But I like them both, man. I really don't give a damn. I like my AKs and my ARs. Reflection, absolutely not. So reflection, again, I don't understand. What are you trying to say? Would I buy like a gun that they shave off like the market, the serial numbers? No, not this channel. We don't promote that at all. We don't do that at all. Not absolutely no. We don't do that. We don't purchase anything illegal here. If you're gonna buy guns, guys, this is called 2A gun talk. That means we promote the 2A community. We're not trying to do anything illegal. We're not putting on, Glock switch on Glocks illegally. They're the FRT triggers. You can do it legally now. So you don't need to get them, the Glock switches. Do away with that. If you want to go, FRT triggers are out there. It's legal now. So I'm not spreading any, lies or to do anything illegal. You know what I mean? But, yeah. So Somebody, what is illegal? He said that is illegal. What's illegal? Yes, auto switch are illegal. For you to put a Glock switch on your firearm, you need to have a certain license for that. That's an automatic weapon. But you can buy an FRT trigger. Look it up. An FRT trigger is legal to have in a lot of firearms now, because I have a CZ Scorpion and I have a Chris Vector, and I am gonna put an FRT trigger in both of those. I also recently purchased the Taurus TX22. I am also going to put an FRT trigger in that. Flexion says, can you buy a sniper? As a firearm, based on this question, I think you need a lot of teachings, my friend. They've never been illegal. Firearm, what you call a sniper rifle, is more than likely a bolt action hunting rifle. It's not a hunting rifle, but I guess a sniper is a hunter. You know what I mean? But it's just and you can use semi-automatic firearms as sniper. The M21, which is the military's semi-automatic pistol, like in 308 is a sniper rifle. But those all have always been legal, my friend. Flexion said, "Oh, I'm from Pakistan, man. Everything legal here, Habibi." Yeah, well, in this country, yes. We depending on the state you live in, yes, you can pretty much buy a sniper. Anybody can buy sniper rifles. It's pretty common here, so it's not something that it's hard to get. Depending on the state, you might have some restriction based on capacity, but more than likely you can buy a sniper rifle in the United States. All right, so I was making a point that instead of buying a bunch of cheap guns, just save up your money and buy a very good gun. You can get a really nice Glock, buy a red dot to put on that Glock and spend the money on some ammunition, training, and be proficient with it. You don't have to keep buying a bunch of cheap guns, because sometimes you buy 2, 3, 4 cheap guns. You might have said you should have just saved up the money and just buy a very decent gun, not an expensive gun, but a decent gun. So don't go ahead just buying all these cheap deals, these Christmas deals for, mediocre firearms. Save up your money, buy past Christmas. In January, prices are going to go down on a lot of the, expensive stuff, or not go down, but you can find better quality firearms for the price you'd spend on 3 mediocre firearms. So that's exactly what I would do. I appreciate it, Jay. Thank you. If you guys so feel, man, like I said, hit the like button, share the video, subscribe, or make a donation. That's greatly appreciated. So a lot of people might be thinking about they want to purchase a firearm, and they're saying, oh, delaying it. I can't afford it right now. It's okay if you can't afford something right now. A lot of people have their bills. We live in a time right now where the economy, for the past 4 years, we've been dumped on, and the president right now is trying to get the economy back up. And it's going to get bad before it gets better. I think the president is on the right track in building up the economy. And so, I think people should just be patient and let everything come to fruition. All these trillions of dollars that he has coming into the country, building factories, they don't take they don't take a little bit. They take time to put infrastructure down, get qualified people to work, get the right people to work in these departments. Machinery need to be put down. People need to be employed. It's going to take time for those jobs to start coming in and for the economy to get more stabilized. So I would just wait until January, when all the prices, when the buyer's guide has gone down and people are saying, hey, listen, I'm going to buy something now that the price is not so crazy with those Christmas price. Because they're banking on the fact that it's Christmas and you want to purchase these things and you want to have it before a certain time. So they'll raise the price on you so you can buy those things, and the price is not even worth it. Wait till January, man. I'm originally from Jamaica. I can't really pronounce your name, but yes, I'm from Jamaica. No, I don't sell these rifles. These are all my personal rifles that I've acquired. I have so much more than you can actually see. There's a ton load there. There's some on the other side of the wall. There's some on this side, some in safes, some they're everywhere, man. So yeah, this is just me not being rich. I just purchased them over the years. A lot of these farms, people see, they think that I just get up every day and just buy a new farm. No, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do drugs. I'm an adrenaline junkie. I want to jump out of an airplane. I want to, I want to ride my motorcycle. I want to go running. I want to go to shooting competition. I want to go hunting. That's my drug, plus females. Can't miss the females. You know what I mean? So I don't do any of that kind of stuff. So I put my money into guns. And like I said, if I needed to liquidate any of these, I can always liquidate them and they will sell. I promise you. Some of them are worth thousands of dollars. Like I said, this is a Polish Tonto right here. I can sell that for 1,700. I still have another original one in a box. I can get that for even more because I didn't spray paint it. And this one right here is a Saiga AK. I can get this for $2,500 easy. That's a Russian AK, original Russian AK from out of the Ishmash factory. So these are an investment, guys. Um, the next point I had here, it says financial responsibility reflects on the 2A community. And it means that, people who own firearms, a lot of people you see who own firearms, they are responsible. You know what I mean? I think most of them are responsible. I'm a responsible person. It shows that I can be disciplined and purchase these expensive stuff. You know what I mean? And I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. I rarely drink unless it's an occasion. You know what I mean? I have my shit together. I own my own house. You know what I mean? It shows that you're responsible. And it reflects good on the 2A community. A lot of the main YouTube channels you see on there, man, these guys, you can tell these guys are pretty successful outside of the YouTube community. They do well for themselves, either in their professional field or on YouTube. I'm not that successful on YouTube. I just don't have the time and the money to put into it, but I'm trying to make more content and increase my viewership. I'm not one of those big channels that get stuff sent out to them so they can review the most popular things all the time and be in the algorithm. I'm just a little guy, man. I'm going into school right now. I'm in the medical industry. I'm going to school. No, I'm not in the army. I used to be a correctional captain back in the days, but I'm not in the army. So, it is like a jungle there, though. Believe me. I think it's worse than in the army because at least the enemy is trying to kill you, man. These guys, they will smile with you all day and then wanted to kill you. I've been in scuffles with inmates a few times already. You know what I mean? But yeah. And that's pretty much the point for today, man. That's pretty much going to be the live for today, guys. And that's going to be the video for today, guys. I really appreciate you guys coming out to the channel and check it out. Not the viewership I'd want. I think I should have did this video a little later on in the evening, but still, man, I had good time conversating with people who got anything out of this, guys. And like I said, I have a couple of videos on my main channel. If you guys want to go check those out, I'd really appreciate that. If you guys want to ask me any questions while I'm here, I'll probably be here for another 5 to 8 minutes taking any questions. If you guys have any questions, I'll feel free to answer them. If you want to see what I spoke about in the prior video, go back, watch this video, guys, and see what I spoke about. You can always just rewind and go back to the beginning to what we talked about. But pretty much the point is, guys, don't go broke, buying a bunch of unnecessary stuff, guys. Save your money. Try to, wait for the right time to make that purchase. If you're into firearms and you want to buy a certain type of gun, don't go out there buying a bunch of cheap guns. Save your money, put it away, be disciplined. And then when you have the right amount of money, buy the gun, buy ammo, purchase some practice time, go to the range, be proficient with your firearm, learn how to use it, teach your family member how to handle it with safety. Don't hide it from your kids. Let them know what this is, what it can do, and how to be safe. Take them to the shooting range, teach them how to shoot those firearms, and I promise you it's going to pay dividends in the end. We don't promote any kind of violence whatsoever. We always promote love, peace, and happiness through all. But again, with this community, don't push us, man, because we'll take it to your doorstep. And with that said, guys, that's pretty much going to be the video for today. Unless you guys, have any further questions, I'm here for you guys. Give you guys a couple more minutes before I sign off. Anybody got any questions? No, I don't work for the Army. All right, guys. So like I said, man, if you guys have any further questions for me, go ahead and ask, man. I'm all ears. I'm going to make a quick video after this and post it for later on for all the people who it's their first time purchasing a firearm and to see how to handle the firearm when they go to the shooting range. All right, guys, without further ado, I think I'm going to call it a day. It's been it's the hour mark. I just wanted to do a quick video. I might jump online again later, but for now, this is going to be the live for today. And with that said, guys, thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to help out the channel, give a donation, subscribe to the channel. With that said, thank you and have a wonderful day. Peace.